We got it from the guy on the scene. Like, I say guy on the scene, but like the construction area. So we got the carpet from the guy in the construction area. Well, I didn't get it then. He said he was going to bring it to me. So I gave him the address. And this is where I messed up. I gave him, and this is why I couldn't tell you this in front of Albert. I gave him our code to get in. He was going to go fix it. And I just assumed working in the house, he was going to be okay, whatever. And me and Gannon left. I just said, hey, this is.
Did you give him the garage door code?
Yeah.
And what about the alarm?
Well, if you go in through, say, like you're walking in through our house, there's no sensor, so we always keep it on our alarm, and you can walk in through the garage and the alarm will never set off or off. Never. Okay. And the reason for that is, like, there's no door. Like, there's nothing that tells that door that it's open. You can sense.
So you don't have a sensor there.
Right. So we just always, and the kids come in every day in the garage and never have to, like, set, reset, anything like that.
Okay.
So me and Gannon go on. I don't remember exactly where we went first. I know we rode a little bit because I was looking for different places to buy the dogs some, like, different cute outfits because sometimes I get them at Ross. The Petco has some really good deals going on right now, so I was like, I'm going to go to Petco. Gannon was like, at that point, it was like he wanted to lay down because his stomach was hurting. He wasn't complaining about, like, any, like, pain on his arms or anything like that. He just said he wanted to lay down because his stomach was hurting. So we were in Albert's truck. So we lay down. He lays down in the back of the truck. So he's just laying down, whatever. I went to Petco. I can't remember if I went in the store beside Petco. I know we went some places around town, just different locations.
What places did you go to?
I know I went to Petco. I know I went to a gas station to get gas.
Which Petco did you go to?
The one at, is it Nevada and something?
Okay.
I don't really
know. Like that.
It's nice. It's a nice area. That's the area I basically was in for. I wasn't gone that long for most of the time frame. That was the area that I was in. And then I made the wrong, when you're coming back and it tells you go this way, I made the wrong exit. Like I got in the wrong one. So I went back. I guess that would be, I went north a little bit before I turned around to come back because I made the wrong one. So I get back and let's see, did we go eat at that time? I feel like I didn't get anything to eat. Maybe I just got Starbucks. I could look at my credit card or something like that. See if you want to look and see where I fit that day. You want me to look?
No, eventually, yes. Okay. That would be helpful.
Okay. So I remember what happened. Then I realized I had to go back to Petco. That's why we turned around and came back. Because I started off, I bought 2 outfits, maybe 1 or 2, and then I came back in Petco and I got the rest of the outfits that were on there because I was like, I'll go 2 more for this price. So I did go back to Petco twice. So I'm sure you'll see that.
In between, did you go?
Let's see, if we left at 10 something, it's like a 30-minute drive from Lorson Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got there, got gas, got Starbucks, maybe I was there at 11-ish. I don't want to say a time. Because,
so you go to Petco the first time, and then how long in between the first visit and the second visit to Petco?
Can I give you that, like, looking up?
A guesstimate or
maybe an hour?
Maybe an hour. Do you have, like, any tracker apps or anything on your phone? Because I know, like, for me, I have that Life 360, and it'll tell me.
Want me to show you what we think? Okay.
It'll tell me, what my short trips are. It'll even tell me if I walked somewhere. It's freaking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I just get tracked by Google. I have an Android phone, so it just tells me.
My family likes to know where I'm at, so.
Well, I do that to Harley because, Harley, was the only child, and then her father was killed. So it's always like she and I, and like she was like really all I had until I got remarried or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like do maybe a little over bored of stalking.
Hey, you know what?
Right now, like, all right, let's see.
Do you have the one with the subscription? I'm like trying to figure out if I should get that or not.
I don't. She always says something about purchasing it. Mm-hmm. She said it would help if
like
you
like crash detection.
Right, that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
And she was saying that it was kind of like how the Apple Watch would do if you had a crash detection. It would alert the authorities. They'll say, yeah, okay, this is, I don't know if this is like a service thing, but it's on. I would say I'm waiting. I would say hour-ish because I'm a very indecisive person when it comes to like shopping. So I had to go back to make my mind up. I can leave right here, but it's loading. I think maybe.
Can I see it? Maybe it'll give me better reception.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Give a password or something. I can put it in.
No, I could do my finger.
Okay. Sometimes this corner, if you hold it up high, it'll.
Because I know people watching. I want them to have my passcode in, and they'll know our code for a lot of stuff. All right, here we go.
Is it working?
No.
Oh, that corner is like typically the sweet corner.
Hold it up here.
Yeah. We can set it down here. Let's see if it keeps going. Okay. Okay, so you make the second trip to go back and buy more outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where do you go from there? Is Gannon still telling you that he wants to like lay down? How's he doing?
Something happened. There you go. Yeah, I told you this was a sweet corner. It says purchase could not be completed. I didn't purchase anything. The purchase cannot be completed.
Huh.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never had that pop open before. The purchase could not be completed. Please try again later. Well, I mean, we tried.
I guess it says
the access signal, so.
Free membership includes two.
How long have you guys had that app?
Oh, God. Since I started driving for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a long time. Yeah.
If I want to say, like, it's never had me do a purchase.
It just says. It didn't even ask me to put anything. Purchase could not be completed.
That's bizarre. That is bizarre. You didn't hit anything. I didn't hit anything. Okay. So you go back to Petco the second time. Does Gannon, these places that
Sorry, I was going to say, it says crash detection disabled. Does that mean I don't have the...
Yours looks different than mine does. And you don't have a subscription?
Mm-mm. Like, it gives me, but it sends me all the alerts, like, it says, like, Carly arrived home.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get those too.
Yeah.
If you have certain places set, like
No,
work
I get
or
it.
home.
Yeah, well, I get the work at home, but it'll say completed a 4-mile drive, completed a 15
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we might have different versions because mine is Android. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So when you and Gannon are out running around to these places and you know, getting your gas and your coffee and
Right.
Petco a couple times, and does he go into the stores with you?
No,
or?
but I parked, and I know you're going to see this, so I'm going to say that I parked on the front, and, like, I don't know if you'll probably, if you see the Petco, cameras, I'm in the, can I show you? Sure. I'm in the store a lot of times walking back to the front door doing this. And my point of doing that is because I was making sure that I didn't see him, like, you know, if he needed something or like eating out or whatever. And he stays in the car, like, I really stay in the car all the time with, like, if, like, Lena's in the car, he'll be like, it's okay, sit here, buddy, we'll be right back. Didn't think anything of it because he had his Switch with him, and he was playing his Switch.
Did he know what store you were in?
Yeah, Petco.
So, like, if he needed you or whatever else.
But and I did keep walking to the door
Sure.
several times, and I'm pretty sure I did it on the second visit too, walking back to the door just to make sure. You know, like if he was like, oh, you know,
Sure.
if I need you or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, you can see that on there. So do you need to know like what I did in there, or
So you're just in there shopping, and then
it wasn't even a long shop.
okay,
Like it wasn't.
and then you come back out, and then where do you go?
So I know we were right in that area, like different places, but I don't think I stopped anywhere else specific to get anything other than Starbucks. I made a wrong turn, and then the 2 times at Petco, and I was looking for Marshalls, but
After the second time at Petco, did you go anywhere?
I think after that Petco is when we started to head home.
Okay, so you go home.
And I want to give you like an accurate of that if I pull this up because I feel like right after Petco we went home. I don't want you
to try and bring it up.
Yeah, I don't want you to think that I missed a stop or something. And I will tell you, on the way on the way there. We did stop and get gas somewhere.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was on the way there or way home.
Do you remember what station?
But we did stop and
Michelle,
get gas.
7-Eleven.
Here,
Come and go.
if you gotta go.
I hate to do this. Yeah, I need to run out. I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
Okay. It shouldn't take me very long, hopefully. But please continue talking with Detective Houston, and then whenever I get done with that, I'm gonna come back in and we'll get back on again. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull this up too. And it's
Sure. The USA app is being slow too.
Is it my phone?
I don't. You can try that corner again. It might. The floor is a little weird. So after you guys left Petco,
Mm-hmm.
so did you buy something there that time or?
The second time, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I know she kept asking me about what was Gannon doing, what was he, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to say this about getting back.
Okay.
So everyone has been, like about this whole thing about camera footage and this happened because we didn't see this or didn't see this. So I'm very sorry.
What do you mean, everyone?
So like my whole family is being harassed. My mom is being threatened to be killed. My daughter is being stalked. I thought it took me a while to get here because I had to put some safety measures in for her own well-being.
Okay.
And my family from back home is being threatened. People are saying they're sending people after them.
Okay.
All those things. So, there's always a world of people making situations and saying, let's be a good person, but then threaten someone else.
Okay.
And so being aware of that's what was going on. So in between all that and all these people were sending me like messages that people were saying and blah, blah, blah. I didn't respond to any of them. During all that, there was something along the lines of someone checked neighbors 2 doors down or something, camera footage, and never saw anyone do this or that. Like, I don't know, like specifics. But my point behind telling you that is, if this is what you guys, and I'm not saying this is what you're basing stuff on, if this is what you're basing stuff on, is like in this day and age, timeline, security, things like that, you will see on somebody's security, Gannon and I run to the car at 10 something that morning and we're returning at 2 something.
Okay.
So I remember specifically in the truck, I pulled it right in front of the ring. And like,
More ring?
yes, but we don't have a subscription.
Okay.
But according to these neighbors who can see all the way to the truck every day,
Okay.
they should be able to show you during those time frames that we run in, we run out, he runs back in, or whatever.
Okay.
And then
So you leave around 10 something, and then you get back around 2 something.
I feel like it was like 2:35, 2:25, 2 something.
Okay.
Because I knew I had to be back in time to do a couple things, and then I knew Lane would be coming there. I knew Harley would be getting off work, yada, yada, yada. So that was my whole thing. So going on from there, Gannon goes inside, I think first. I don't want to misquote myself, but I'm pretty sure he ran in first, and I had the bag for Petco and all that stuff in my hand. Now, I don't.
Which store did you guys use?
We always go in through the garage if we like park like on the front part of the yard or things like that.
Sure.
So we go in through the garage.
Okay.
He goes in through the garage. I go in. I'm getting ready to put up the things, stuff like that. And this is where it got. I made a mistake. This is it.
Okay.
So as we got inside, I heard something, but I didn't think anything about it because I thought, maybe Gannon was like doing something. Maybe we were like doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was in there. And I gave him the code.
The guy from the...
Yeah, it's all my fault. I gave him a code to fix the carpet. And he was inside. I noticed when I had like walked in and I saw we have like a little bookshelf thingy. I keep my shapes in there too, but we also have like our guns and stuff. I I saw it was open, but in my mind I thought maybe I left my shades or whatever.
Your like, sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't think anything of it when I heard the noise, and I just started walking downstairs. But I didn't walk downstairs with like a gun or anything like that. So I started walking downstairs, and then when I walked downstairs, I hear something again. Well, at that point in time, Gannon was on the sofa, and I saw him, and I heard something again, and I walked on around to where so Gannon's room is here, and there's a storage closet here.
Okay.
And I heard something, and so I walked to the storage closet to open the storage closet, and when I do, it's him. And he was standing in there, and he had on gloves.
In the storage closet?
Yes.
Okay.
He had on gloves.
Okay.
Okay. And then he just knocked me down and like towards Gannon's room. And he was hitting on me, and it was like hard, like on the ground. And he was trying to like, rape me, and I just like, told her. I said, I have to tell you about it.
Okay.
And like, from there on was like in a blur because I was trying so hard because Gannon had a table in his room, and I went back and hit my head on it. Like with him, Gannon runs inside the room and like tries to like be helpful, do something, whatever. And from there, it was kind of like a blur. Everything else that was going on because I was just like crying, I was freaking out, and I swear to God, I don't know what. I really don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And I'm just like in the moment thinking, like these memories of like, wow, like the thing was open, he had the gun, and I didn't remember what happened there, and so I kind of like blacked out just a little bit, and so all these things are going into my mind as I'm blacked out. I don't know if like I know he was like when Gannon was like trying to get on him. I know he was like moving Gannon, and like and it was just all like so like a cycle to me, and so I'm like out of it for a little bit, just for a little bit. And then from when the time I woke up, I say woke up, but like I kind of like that a little bit, and I immediately like freaked out. I was like, I couldn't find Gannon. It was like the guy was still in the house. Lena was on the way. I didn't know where Gannon was at because I was calling for Gannon. I thought he was hiding. Like I legit thought he was hiding in like maybe the other closet that was on the other side, the other, whatever. I thought he was hiding. Like I was so scared. So I run up the stairs because I hear, I know it's like almost time for Lena, and I hear that the Ring app had like an alert for someone at the front door, but it could have been just like Amazon or something driving by because there was nobody at the front door. And then I run back downstairs because in my mind I was like thinking, where's Gannon? And I didn't want to leave and like run outside and scream and go crazy because I did not know where he was at the time. And everybody says to me, like, because I told Albert and him about it, and they're like, why didn't you like run to go get help? And I didn't want to leave to go get help, and I was terrified because I know Albert would kill me because Gannon was still in there. So then when I get downstairs, he has the gun, and he has Gannon, and I'm sitting there like freaking out, like, what do you want me to do? Blah, blah, blah. And Lena does make it to the door at this time, and then so I go upstairs because I know that he was like, don't say anything because I didn't know if someone thought like it was a cop or if someone heard something or I didn't know anything. So my thought process was, if I say anything, Gannon's down here, I need to just be as cool as possible at like, because we order things on Amazon like all the time, books and things like that. So it was Lena. So the reason I sent Lena away was because I wanted her to be safe too. So I sent Lena on a mission to go get like the mail. Lena, it never gets the mail. Nothing like that. I sent her on a mission to go get the mail.
Okay.
And so I just started making up random things for Lena to go do. And I looked at Lena and I said, she was standing there, I was like, just stay gone for a little while. Because I didn't want her coming back and then that, like her in the situation as we were too. So like in my mind, I think if I say anything, if I do anything, I just didn't know what to do. I was in complete panic. So I go back downstairs again and I'm like pleading and like talking and like all these things going on. Like just back and forth with him, and why are you doing this? Why did you hurt us? Why are you doing these things? And then it just started being like a hustle and puzzle, like back and forth. I don't even remember how it kept going for, like maybe I say 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't know if it was that long. And then he was like on top of me again. And then I kind of lied out again because he hit my head again.
Oh, really?
And then, yeah, and then I was on the table that was inside, like in between there's a red blue table in there.
Okay.
He like, forced me in there again, and he was trying to do it again. And I was just like losing my mind, like completely, like Albert's sister was raped. And so like in my mind I kept thinking Albert's gonna be like I'm nothing, and I shouldn't have been thinking about that. I should have been, but I was, and that was all I could keep thinking about. You know, like was like Albert was gonna be upset. Gannon's over here. Lena's coming. And all these emotions are running through there, and he was like, he asked me to give him a suitcase, and I gave him a brown suitcase, and then he hit me on the head again, and I was like right here. He kept like hitting me right there like that.
Okay.
And so then he did that, and then I blacked out again. I was having a panic attack. And then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, get a lift, whatever. You know that.
Okay.
But he never did. He never left to go play. I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked in the moment. And I didn't want Albert to be like trying to hurt us, because we kind of get in a lot of fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I just want you to know that's the only reason that I made up the lie, is because I knew that I didn't want to face the consequences of, you know, trying to explain to him all that was going on, because he was saying to me, you're trying to make this about you, you know, this is not about you. And I knew all those things because I've lived in it. So I panicked, and I just told a story, and I was going to try to think of, like, you know, plan. And I'm sorry that it might have delayed, you know, like looking for Gannon, but I do not know where Gannon was. I do not know. I do not know his whereabouts from that point on. But it was still in the same time frame that I gave you guys. So there was no contradictory to that same time frame, because it still was about 4 o'clock.
Okay, so go over the time frame with me. What was the time frame?
It had to be around like 4.
Okay.
Because Harley gets off at 4:30.
Okay.
And so Harley had just gotten home, or no, was on her way home or something. And my phone was like alerting. I knew Harley was on her way home. And I was going to tell Harley when she got there. I was going to be like, look, this is what happened. We need to get help. We need to call 911. And all I kept thinking about was, it's going to be my fault. Because I gave him the code. He brought the carpet. He did all that.
Okay.
And
Did he fix it?
No, I had already cut it.
Oh, okay.
He brought the big roll of carpet. It's at the house. He brought that.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
where's that at the house?
it's in the back storage room.
Okay. Is that the one that he was hiding in?
Huh?
Is that the storage room that he was in?
Yes.
Whenever you went down there?
Yes, I put the carpet back in the storage room. The reason I put the carpet back in there because it was laying like in the like. So the storage room was right here. It had fallen over at some point when all this was going on. So I picked it up and put it back, like on the thing. I rolled it up.
Oh.
It wasn't all the way rolled out, but it was like somewhat rolled out through the commotion, and I rolled.
Okay. So the time frame is that 4 o'clock is whenever.
I don't want to tell you exactly 4. I don't like saying that because I
about
don't
4
want
o'clock was whenever. Yeah. We can say about.
Okay.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
So
Did
Lena's-
Harley come home, or?
Yeah, Lane is still out and about. Harley's home, comes home or whatever. I'm pacing the house, like trying to think of a plan of like, what do I do? And I should have like immediately like gotten on the phone, did whatever. But all I kept thinking about was, it's all my fault. It's my fault because Albert's going to say to me, you gave some stranger access to our home. You know, this is all on you. And in my mind, I thought I could fix it. Like in my mind, I thought I could fix this. And I don't know why I thought that. That was horrible decision making problem. But it also was in a very emotional state that in normal situations, people can say all they want. I will call, I would do this, I would do this. But if you're not in a situation, everybody handles things differently.
Sure.
And I was making an irrational decision in a panic situation when I should have immediately, being an educator, being all these things, it should have been one of those things where it was immediate, know how to answer. And you might think, this girl's going to want to be a flight attendant. She's got to be able to think fast. It was not that easy in the moment because my mind was in so many directions that I could fix it. I literally thought I was going to fix it.
Sure.
And that was where it went from there. So I was going to tell Harley. I didn't tell Harley. I paced around the situation and was thinking, okay, if I don't have any kind of like information, like if I don't have a plan in my brain by a certain time, that's when I'm going to call authorities.
Okay.
And so that's how.
So you had like predetermined a time that you were going to call if you hadn't figured anything out?
I didn't come up with a specific time, but in my brain I kept saying, okay, I got to act soon. But I knew that, I'm like thinking by 6:30, like I need to make a good decision because what am I going to tell the girls? Because they're going to be like, like where's Gannon? Like because we were going to all go eat sushi, so that was where that time frame would have been like, what am I supposed to do? Go get in the car and be like, Gannon's not going with us. I couldn't keep going on and on with the irrational decision of not calling 911.
Okay.
And I had to stop the decision.
So what happened? So tell me what happened as it went on.
So I called 911.
Okay.
And they said, hey, sorry, this is not an emergency. You have to call this other line.
Okay.
So I called the other line, and it was a 4-hour wait for them to get there.
Okay.
So 4 hours later, they came. I'm still in a panic set. I'm like, these people are, nothing I say is going to solve this situation. So I did say that, can't live at this time. Again, I admitted it's a very rational decision because it could have been more helpful to be honest and say, this is the description, here's who we're looking for, instead of like the situation being like, he was gone. And that was horrible. I should have done that because I panicked.
Okay.
I need to make decisions.
Okay.
And so from then on, that's when you guys came. They came through, asked me questions. They searched the house, every room, flashlight, whatever. They went outside in the garage. They searched my car, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. And was Harley there at this time?
When they did the searches?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it took like 4 hours. So it was like later in the night that this had happened.
Okay. So when you say they searched your car, which car did they search?
Like my car, like the black car.
The black car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a deputy, there was like 6 or 7. And then one of those deputies that responded to the scene, he came around with a flashlight and he like searched like everything up and down every room, would ask me questions like, would this wallet be here? Would this be here? Would this be here? Would this be here?
Sure, trying to figure out what's normal, what's not normal.
And I put everything back in order. Like I told you I moved the carpet, I fixed the situation because I was being stupid. And I should have told them what had really happened.
Okay.
And so he went through everything. He went through the outside, he went through the car, he went through the trunk, he went through everything.
Like he actually got into the car?
He wanted my ID.
Okay.
And he asked me, he said, do you mind if I look around? He
Sure.
said, in the garage, he opened my car. In fact, he left my car to open because the next morning the back door was open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he went in the car doors. I mean, I'm sure you guys have a record of who was in there. But he opened the car, opened up the trunk. He looked through the bags that were in the trunk. He looked through everything in the garage, the bags, whatever over here, came back in. He did the same thing, and like in different parts.
So he's trying to be like really thorough.
Yeah, like trying to be really, really thorough. He was going through every part of the house.
Okay.
And he asked me, was anything missing? And it was the truth. There was nothing missing because I did take the gun that he had. I did put the gun back.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, was there anything else that happened on Monday? Like, did you talk to Harley about it or
about what I told you?
Mm-hmm.
No, I told them the first situation.
Like what you told our dispatch?
Right.
That, and that was that Gannon went to go play at a friend's house?
Right.
And do you remember the friend's house name?
I never gave anyone a name or anything at all.
Okay.
And also, too, like, I didn't want to leave out any key points or whatever.
Sure.
I had my headphones on because when I was like upstairs when it all started. I had my headphones on, so my headphones were still on through the whole thing. So that's why if you ask me like where, like, did you hear any noises? Did you hear anyone leaving? Did you hear the alarm go back off? I had my headphones still on. They were still on my head.
When you came inside the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I had my headphones still on when I came inside the house. Like not coming in the house with them, but like in the house. When I went downstairs, I still had my headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I did like this.
Okay, so help me.
When I went downstairs, I still had my headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I did like this.
Okay, so help me understand.
Yeah.
So when you came into the house, you didn't have them on, but then you had them on when you went downstairs?
Yeah, because I came in doing like a normal, I would get ready to listen to music, I was going to work out.
Oh, okay.
So I like, you like move them back and forth.
What kind do you have?
Like I have Beats audio.
Like the ones that go over or
Yeah.
like they come in?
Yeah, the ones that like,
Okay.
like they kind of like smash your head in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always have to,
Like,
yeah, I always have
depends
to,
on your head?
I always have to like move them, like back and forth and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's what I was doing, like moving them when I was like, do I hear something? Because it's kind of like I heard something, but I wasn't sure that I heard something at all. And that's when I started going downstairs.
Okay. And are they like noise canceling or anything like that, or ambient sound, or do they just do like play regular music?
I mean, I think they would be noise canceling, right? Because that would be.
I don't know. I think you can get them either way.
That would be Beats. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you can get them either way.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you knew.
Yeah, I don't know. We have 2 different pairs, and the one like we have 2 different, and I know one of them is like the push, like push in kind or whatever, and the other one doesn't push in as much, and I have the ones that like. So
Okay.
that might.
Do you have 2 different pairs?
No, Albert. I'm saying like we have 2 as
a family.
Yeah.
Okay. So which ones were you wearing?
Mine.
Okay. Which color are those?
I feel like they're like a gold or maybe like a matte gold or
Okay. And what color are Albert's?
black and red. I think.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. We just want to make sure
Yeah.
that, like if we see them or whatever again, then we know which ones are yours,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
ones
yeah.
are his. So that it's like, if you said that your head got hit and stuff like that, and we'll go back to that
Right.
a little bit, but maybe if he like touched them or something like that, then we want to make sure that we get the right ones, right?
Right.
So was there anything else that happened Monday, like after the deputies left or anything like that?
No, so I went out to my car that morning because I knew that Albert was going to fly in or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and so normal like routine, like I got up, whatever. I got in my car and I realized that the guy had left the back door open, and then so I was like, oh, my car might not crank. And I drive out and I drive down the street because I was going to drive my car, blah, 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 to pick it up. And I decided to come back because it was too early. His flight wasn't coming in until 8:53.
Okay.
And I was going to like, honestly, just drive. I had to think in my brain, I was like, this is the best thing. But I didn't. I just drove down the street, came back.
And that was in your black car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you ended up picking him up later?
Yeah.
And you took your black car to do that?
No, yes. So what happened is I took my black car, but I sent him a message earlier and I said, hey, is it okay if we get a rental car?
Okay.
And he said, yes. I have a leased vehicle, so you can only put like 1,000 miles on it. And I'm like pretty anal about, like I don't want to go over and that type of thing.
Okay.
So his car is very expensive on gas. So I did get a little economy car, and I knew we'd be driving around everywhere. Everybody was like searching, and in my mind, I was like freaking out because I'm going to be blamed because they someone our codes and our home. And so I was like, I know we're going to drive everywhere all day. So I was like, I'm going to get a rental car.
Okay.
So I did. And so I got my rental car, and I left my black car at the airport.
You left it at the airport.
Right. Because I had to have a way to, I didn't walk. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Albert asked me where my car was at, and I told him it was at French. The reason I told him that is because Albert and I get in a lot of fusses about this whole working and changing career thing that you guys, I told you about in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And that was like a personal situation that I didn't want to fuss with him about, like the working and changing, you're going to give up your career for this, and this. So I just said he knew I had just worked at French. So he knew that. So I said it was at French, one of my friends brought me. That's what I told him.
Okay.
So that's why he thought it was at French, but it was my way of, so he thought that I wanted he knew I had to go get my stuff from French because I stopped working there. So, and that's kind of, I wanted it to go with the story because I wasn't ready yet to tell him I wasn't returning at all to education. It just wasn't.
Okay, so he doesn't know that yet.
Well, he knows that like I'm gonna be a flight attendant, and oh, never mind, I can't do it because I've been back and forth. You're gonna go from making almost, I made like 60 grand to, I think they make like $18 to $20 an hour, but you can only do so many things like reserve shifts. You got my crash pads, so I'm back and forth on something I really want to do and the money. So I went back and forth with him on that, and that was just one of those things where I just wasn't prepared to be like, oh, you're gonna be a teacher again. Oh, you're gonna do this again. Oh, you're back at the school again. Blah blah blah. You know, so you're back at subbing again. So
you drove to the airport in your black car. Okay. What time did you do that?
His flight landed at 8:50 something, so I got there in time to park my car, and then I walked up to the thing, and he was coming down the escalator, and then I go over to budget, and I get the rental car. He's sitting on the little corner over here, waiting on his bags. We walk out, we get the car.
Okay. And so, where did you park your car at the airport? Do you remember?
In the short-term parking, maybe about like a middle.
Okay.
It's a long, like the short-term thing. It goes from, you got the rental cars, a section here, a section. So it went to like the farther section, and maybe like over here.
Okay. Okay. And then, so you're in your black car this morning.
Right.
Okay.
Because I had to turn the rental car back in.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you picked your car up this morning?
No. So I took the rental car back last night because I didn't know what time situation, he's upset with me for not telling you guys first so that, it could have been a quicker search or whatever the case may be. So I didn't know, like, I thought we were going to have to stay, like in a hotel or something. So I parked my car. My Harley picked me up because I was going to get a room at the hotel.
Okay.
And so I thought you guys knew that because it was sheriff's there this morning. So.
Well, people are working different pieces,
yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that while we're talking that I have all of the information, right? So if I ask you something that you feel like has already been covered before, I'm not trying to be a brat or anything like that. Yeah. I just want to make sure we have everything, we're all on the same page with everything. Right. Okay. So you drove the rental car back last night, early this morning.
No, it was last night. It wasn't that late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Harley picked you up, and you left your car at the airport still?
No. Okay, so I drove the rental car back, got in my car, left. Okay, so I didn't have anywhere to go because they're fussing at me, and people are everything's going on in the searches and things like that. So I didn't really have anywhere to go, and some of my stuff was at home, so I didn't have a car to get gas. I didn't have anything like that. So I was basically like just, like going somewhere parking, like trying to stay warm because it got a little bit cold or whatever.
Sure.
So finally I was gave in and was like, Albert, look. And he was like, I need you to tell me the truth. And that's when I started messaging her that, hey, Wood, I'm going to come home and I'm sorry. I'll tell you exactly what happened. It's all my fault because I should have let everyone know that I gave someone the code. And I tried to replace the car. So at that point, I leave my car at the hotel, which was near Harley's work.
Okay.
And Albert was like, you guys coming? And I said, yes. We're on our way. I leave my car at the hotel the entire night and leaving Harley's car. We stay at home last night. And then I come back with Harley when she came to work this morning. And I walk over to the hotel.
Okay. So had you gone and gotten a hotel room and then changed your mind and decided to stay home? Parked your car?
No, I parked my car because I was going to get a hotel. And my thought process was if we got in Harley's car and went home, and I didn't want people like his ex-wife is there. I didn't want people like, the domestic type situations like going on, just me, myself against, like her family and that type of thing. So my plan was we'll just come back here and stay at the hotel if we have to.
Sure.
So that was the whole point of me leaving my car there.
Okay. Do you remember which hotel it was?
Yes, it's the IHC, the Holiday Inn that was right there.
Holiday Inn?
Yeah, and again, that's where the police were at all morning, where my car was at.
We were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could have been something separate, but I just assumed because when I got in my car to pick it up, I'm just like, hey,
work at
at the one at Center Point.
Center Point,
Mhm.
so over by like the movie theater and stuff like that. Okay. And it was sheriff cars or CSPD cars?
Wait, El Paso, whatever, white and maybe green, maybe white and something.
Okay.
I just assumed they were there because you guys think my car was there, but I parked it there because we first of all only drove one car in case it came back.
Okay.
We had to stay at the hotel, so.
Okay.
But yeah, it was parked there.
Okay.
And then I picked it back up this morning. So.
Picked it back up this morning.
Yeah.
And then you came here, or
yeah.
did you go anywhere first?
No, I was just driving around because I was on the phone trying to figure out situations for, like, my mom was getting, like I told you, was getting all those messages. So I wanted to, like, talk to them because they were freaking out and I hadn't been able to talk to them in the last 24 hours. So at that point, my mom was like really worried that I hadn't told her why are these people, sending her death threats, and so at that point in time, I had to make that decision to focus on making sure my mom knew, like, hey, listen, don't respond to, anything people say, and that type of thing.
So I just have one question. I know, like, and it was probably really frustrating. I know your husband was upset and stuff like that too. Like we took a long time to get out there for, I guess we were under the impression that it was a runaway or whatever.
Right.
So it took longer.
In her death threat, and so at that point in time, I had to make that decision to focus on making sure my mom knew, like, hey, listen, don't respond to, anything people say, and that type of thing.
So I just have one question. I know, like, and it was probably really frustrating. I know your husband was upset and stuff like that too. Like we took a long time to get out there for, I guess we were under the impression that it was a runaway or whatever.
Right.
So it took longer to get out there to you guys. But in the meantime, like when we did get out there was like all these people out in the neighborhood and like stuff going on in Facebook and stuff like that. How did that happen? Like,
Albert had someone else start talking on Facebook.
Okay.
One of the kids' moms.
Okay.
So she like initiated something on Facebook, and then of course all the people comment on it.
Okay.
Because the community page is a quite active page for.
Okay. I didn't know if like you had posted something or if Albert.
Not originally. He had the little Cambria.
Okay.
To post an original post initially, and then.
Okay. Is that like a friend of your guys's or?
That's one of the kids, Braden's mom.
Okay. 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 All right. So I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Just to kind of.
I could like use the restroom really fast.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't get to do all this. But I have to be like. Is it?
No, we're coming back.
Was it like a long-term process or something like that?
No, you can just leave everything wherever it is, and we don't have to like clean up anything or anything like that. And I'll just show you where the restroom is. Do you want to leave that here or move what? Your hot pocket. Oh, you don't want to take it to the bathroom, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Got my poster on it.
She's a fucking idiot.
Forward. Stretch break.
Yeah, no, that's a good stretch break. Take a seventh inning stretch break here.
Got the horn section over here.
That's what one section everywhere. We good to go?
We are.
Okay.
There you go, thank you. Anything else? You need another comb? Okay, thank you. Water or anything? Okay. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, yeah. I know. I can't go to lose his job. If he loses his job, I don't know. I don't know. I can't. It wouldn't work out that well. Yeah. I know. I'm not gonna do that because Albert will lose his job. Okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. Sorry, I didn't know you were on the phone. It's okay. Sorry. You know, a little caffeine. Oh. Okay. So I just want to back up with you. We kind of have like a good overview of everything, but so we can start really narrowing down to try and find Gannon and everything else like that. I just want to try and get some more specific stuff on everything. Yeah. So I did write some stuff down. Okay. So, I did. So going back to the just a little bit to the fire part, you said that Gannon had some stuff on his arms. What part of his arms was that? Like I don't remember, like the inner area. You just point to like wherever, like in this, like in the inner area, like this. Okay, so like right here. Yeah, but like the burns were like not like you're thinking like round burns. It was more of like not like burns that are like this. Right here. It was more of not necessarily burns, but like a little bit of like skin, like it was like skin peeling, like in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so that was like on his left arm, his right arm. It was on both arms because remember when I came in, I took the covers and like basically like got on top of both of like on him and the fire. Oh. Not like him pushing him on the fire, but like you know like I was just trying to get the fire out. Okay. And he was like hanging off the side of the off the side of the sofa. And he was still asleep. No, he was like saying my name like he was alert like what's going on because he had just like woken up. Okay. Yeah. So he was not having a full conversation with me, but as in just like calling my name, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." He kept saying he was sorry. he didn't mean to do it. Daddy's been around me for a year. So it was him thinking, oh my gosh, shoot. Like kind of like waking up being like, oh shit, I just made a mistake. Like we would say in the mind of a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Okay. So the next day, you go to, like, you're trying to figure out how to get this carpet fixed. And you said that you had already, you cut the carpet?
I cut the carpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you use to cut the carpet?
I had Albert has like these tools that are like wood working tools, like chisels and I don't know the specific name of the ones, but they're like a little saw things. And I just like took the carpet and did like this.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I didn't necessarily saw it, but I just kind of was like, they're very sharp tools. He has a lot of woodworking tools and stuff in the garage. So I just took one of those things, got like a handle and.
What color? You know, like you use.
Because I tried with the box cutter, but I couldn't, like it wasn't like deep enough to like really pull whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I tried a couple times with a box cutter until it kind of like started the process, but then I had to get like a stronger object or whatever
Okay.
to do it.
Okay, sure. So you cut the carpet, and then you guys are gonna go try to figure out how to like get this fixed or whatever else. So you said that you went over to like where some new construction is. Do you remember? Can you tell me more about that?
I'm not familiar with the area. I mean, I could if you want me to drive you there, or whatever. I don't know. Like they give you street names if that's what you're asking.
Sure, that's fine. But can you just describe it for me a little bit better?
Okay, so like the school, there's the school in the back, and so there's a bunch of new builds that are in the area right near the school.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember, like, when you went to the new builds and stuff like that, was it, like, the first house in, or, like, 12 houses in, or how far in did you have to go?
There was a couple, but I'd rather just go show you, because you're going to quote me on me telling you an estimate of the number, and I don't think that's fair to me. So I can give you an accurate description of which house it was.
Okay. Well, for now, let's go with what you kind of remember. Like, do you remember, did you have to drive far in there, or just a short distance?
I don't know what you mean by like far in there.
Like into where the new builds are.
So they're all like you just go around. It's like in loops.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're asking.
Okay.
So far.
Sure.
I mean, I could show you. I just don't know your terms of distance that you're asking me. Like.
Okay. Well, I guess like so. You're saying that they're like in a loop or whatever.
No, the whole area is in like there's loops, there's streets, there's like different sections of the new build.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like, I can show you because you're going to quote me on me giving you hand motions and things like that. And that's not fair to me being on a conversation. That's just not fair. And I'm sure if I had a attorney here, he would say we're going to go show instead of just giving you something that would be an estimate.
So you went to the new build. And you found this guy and asked him about...
Yeah, his name was Eduardo.
Eduardo?
He said, or Eduardo. I don't know how to say the Spanish names right, but Eduardo.
Okay.
Something like maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I heard Eduardo.
With like a G?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it might be a J if it's the Spanish. I'm not sure how they do it, but I'm not Spanish, but Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said he told you that was his name?
Yeah, he said Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah. And so maybe about like 5'8", really skinny. He had on a tool belt. Had on like a sweater vest, like a cold weather vest. I think it was red. I'm not really, I don't really remember exactly, but he did have blue jeans on, and he had on the combat boots or whatever. I'm assuming in my mind that this was just this was somebody who was he looked like he was like a legit worker. There was people, like on the houses. There was people working in different areas, so I didn't think it was that he was a legit, not necessarily a contractor, but someone that was going to be able to.
Someone knowledgeable to be able to.
Yeah, right. Okay. And I didn't explain to him what had happened. Like, I didn't say, okay, this happened. I said, we need a piece of carpet. You have the carpet for this model of home.
Okay, and what did he say?
He said yes, and I was like, do you have the carpet? And I gave him like a hand reference of like the size that I would need. And he said, yes, we have a rule for that. They have the I don't know if he said they had all of them have the same, and there's model homes or the same code. He was saying something along, I don't really know the definition of that, but some certain homes have the same exact thing and everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, might have the same 4-in-1, the same, because a lot of the homes are the same every 5 houses or whatever.
Right. Like they have like 3 or 4 houses that they build over and over and over again.
Right.
Okay. And they put the same finishings in them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was my assumption that I had taken from that.
Okay. And so he said that they had it, and then what happened next as far as like him having it?
So
do you need to get that?
No. It was I just always check to make sure it's not my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're in the way, Mom. So he said he was going to bring the carpet and fix it, and I gave him the code to get into the garage.
Okay. And you had mentioned that you thought maybe you would find somebody that would want to do like a side job or whatever else. Like, how much did he say he was going to charge you for doing this and for the carpet and stuff like that?
Right. So we never had made that just like that conversation. I just said, hey, and I'll give you a small donation. So what I did was I said, okay, I think my ex-husband, Holly's dad, he used to like work in like sheetrock and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, little jobs like this, back home would have been like $10 an hour. Here, it's probably a little more, like $15, $20 an hour, whatever. And I said, I'll give you a small donation. You didn't ask me earlier about the part, so sorry if we messed it up. And I said, I'll give you a small donation. And then in my mind, a donation was going to be $50. So that's exactly, I had cash. And that's exactly what I had was the $50 like on the counter. And I explained that to him, that it would be on the counter. Thank you for, doing it. Make sure the garage is closed. And like I said, you didn't ask me all that, but I did go through a conversation. I just didn't be like, hey, bring the carpet. Here's the
Sure, and that's why
I don't want you to think that, because that is not what happened. I went through the process of make sure you close the garage back. We have a security system. I told him we had cameras. I talked it up through the conversation. Okay. To let him know that this is the steps and the processes and stuff like that were followed.
Okay. So let's talk about that conversation a little bit, just because we didn't, and that's why we should go back and get more information and everything else like that. So he says he has the carpet, and then did you ask him like, okay, can I just have the carpet, or did you ask him like, can you fix it for me, or did he volunteer to fix it for you?
What do you mean just have it?
Like, did you ask him if he would just give you the carpet, or like?
I was going to be like a package deal. I was assuming, but it's just like. I wasn't asking for like the carpet for the size room. I gave him like the like the size. So in my mind is he's bringing a scrap like rolls or scraps or whatever. That's already some extra from the job.
Okay. So you didn't ask him to just like bring you carpet so you could fix it. You asked him to come and fix it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had in my mind to fix it, but then I was like, you have to measure, and then like. Because I changed tools, like one side was going to be like this length, so if you cut it different on that side, and it just was a little out of my thought process so that I could.
Okay, yeah. Have you if you've never done carpet before, I would imagine that like trying to patch something would be kind of hard, especially if you had to use different stuff to cut it. Okay. Okay. So he agrees to come to your house to fix it. So you give him the address.
Yes, I went through the whole spiel. Here's where it's at, like here's money, how much we did back home. I mean, it was probably like a good 2-3 minute conversation of the specifics that needed to be done. And I did that out of panic because I needed to get it fixed. I didn't want to put it on Craigslist because people say call me or this and they upcharge and we need to replace the whole section and things like that.
And did he tell you like what he would charge you, or did you just say this is how much I'm willing to pay?
No, I just immediately said that I was going to give a donation, like in the terms of I didn't really have a lot to give you, but can you like hook me up? But I kind of was like, can you like hook me up like that? Being more of like a please do this for me, I really need it. Like I don't have a lot of money.
Like a favor.
Yeah, because if he's on the job working and he makes so much an hour and can make an extra $50 that day, that was 150 might turn into 200.
Gotcha.
So in my mind of thinking of doing that was back to the times that Holly's dad would do the same thing. He would be like, don't go pay a subcontractor just go get someone who wants to work after hours, you know, or whatever. And so that was my thought process. That'd be cheaper, faster, someone will come do it right away, and then we're done with the situation.
Okay. So, what did you tell him as far as like how to get into the house and stuff like that?
What do you mean how to get? I just gave him the garage code,
Okay.
and I explained where the carpet needed to be replaced. So, I mean,
Okay.
there's no like when you enter the home, there's no like specifics. You just upstairs, downstairs. That's it.
Okay. So you told him it was downstairs and kind of the area that it was in, or
You walk downstairs, you would have saw it.
okay.
Like it wouldn't have been like you needed to go search for it. I mean, that's
Okay.
common sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not saying you
so-
common sense. I'm saying to the person that's common sense, like, oh, that's carpet, you know. Because see, I had took the rug right here when I showed the police when they came. I had took the rug and put like a piece of carpet that was on it. But the problem with the piece of carpet that was on it was that was a piece of carpet that was from the outside.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like we walk on it. And,
It was like an extra piece. That,
right. And I mean, sure, they could have, you know, used the same carpet, but I needed a carpet to fit a specific size. So if someone had extra carpet, then why not go ahead and fix the whole thing, you know?
Sure.
And we could have a little extra roll for, hopefully there's ever any emergencies or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought that there would have been some somewhere. Like,
In your house?
right.
Okay.
Because, you know, like, sometimes, you know, like, I knew, like, when we had our home, we sold it, we left our, square, what are they called, the hardwood floors? And we left, like, maybe, like, 10 little sheets and
Mhm.
things like that. So, like, I thought, you know, but in my mind, like, okay, no, I'm just going to go. I hadn't seen anything, so I had to, you know,
Go find
go find it, yeah.
Okay.
And you act so much differently when you're trying to be impulsive and hurry up and get it done, quick decision, when I probably could have just been like, hey, you know, let's look at something that we have maybe in the back corner. We could have cut a piece out or something like that. But I didn't want to go mess up another lady's house.
An old lady's house.
Another lady's house. But it was her house. Like the renter, like the owner, we rent from them.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
rent.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you guys owned.
No.
My bad. Okay. So, so you left, so you went there, you said that he was about 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay. What color hair did he
I
have?
say 5. My husband's 6, but just a little bit shorter, skinny, dark hair like mine. You might think I'm Hispanic, so like I'm really brown in the summer, but
He wasn't here too. He's Hispanic.
I know, but people always think that. So skin complexion was a lot darker than mine.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you want me to give you like a skin complexion thing, but I would say like middle to tannish
Okay.
color.
And was his hair, like, did it have texture to it? Was it straight? Was it curly?
Well, he had a thing on his head, so it was like a little, I don't know, like a fat piece or something. And it was just, I can't tell you like a hairstyle because he had like a little brown like strap thing around it, but it was just like almost like jet black hair.
Okay.
But it wasn't like long.
Okay. And then, what was his face shape like?
Maybe like a little chubbier than mine,
Okay.
like more rounded.
Was there anything about his face that like stands out that would help us be able to find him? Like that would we be able to be like, that's the guy right there? Like, did he have?
Well, I would notice there was like
or-
some bad saying, but like maybe like a little bit of is it craters or like the little holes. I don't say holes. No, like you know how you can see some people and it's got like a little like holy like skin from the acne.
like acne?
Yeah, like stars.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Yeah,
Go
so,
pull that out. Tell us.
like acne, like scars were kind of like present just a little bit there,
Okay.
and not bad though, not like super bad, but it could have been like even more like wrinkles or like whatever. But it's just a little section of like right here, but you can tell it's just like from like age or whatever,
Okay.
or maybe even from dryness. I don't know. I wasn't giving him a skin consultation, but I do remember there was like little spots here.
Okay. Did he have any facial hair?
Yes, he had a mustache that went right here, like around in this area, and that was completely it.
Okay.
It went like this here, like the.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you this because I don't know how to say the wording.
Okay, just the mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said his hair was like jet black. Do you remember like could you tell approximately how long it was?
Or his hair?
Like, was it long, short?
Yeah, I just told you that. I just said it wasn't long. It was, the belt like barely fit around it and like flat, like, like little flat pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
So, not bald, but not long. Nothing was hanging on the shoulders or anything like that.
But it wasn't like a military cut or anything like that.
Yeah, no, not a military cut or anything else.
Okay, so kind of like medium length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, how old do you think he was?
I would say easily late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
But and based upon me thinking that too about the facial structure, you know how you can look at some people's skin and the elasticity or whatever, and it's different. So like those little, you could tell that had been there for a while.
Okay.
Almost like it was like I don't know, a sunburn, but almost like you could just tell something had been. That's a very unique feature I just wanted you to have, because that wasn't something that, like, hey, did the person have lipstick? This was, on their face that would be permanent.
Sure. Do you remember seeing any tattoos or any other like
No,
large
I didn't remember seeing. I just remember the vest. I didn't see any tattoos. He had a shirt under the vest. I don't know, shirt or jacket.
Okay.
I mean, like, I say under the vest, but like, you have the vest over and people wear the shirt. Yeah. That's like a Colorado thing, but kind of.
What color was the jacket? Do you remember? Or
I just remember the red part, because remember I told you earlier, I was like, I think it's red, but I was talking about this top layer. So,
yep.
Yeah.
That the vest was red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know if you remembered what color the shirt was that was underneath.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And then you said he had boots on.
Yeah, he had on like the Rocky boots, or like the construction boots that.
Okay.
Like,
do you remember what color they were?
yeah, they were that light pink, like a sand.
Okay.
And he had, remember I told you he had the belt thing. I don't know, everybody had the belt, but I just.
You said it was a tool belt?
Yeah, it was like a strap thing that had his pocket. Hang.
Okay.
And remember I told you that at the scene. I don't remember like a specific color. It was just, oh yeah, you see somebody, you're like, oh, person in black shirt, person, whatever. I didn't.
Okay.
I do, but the face did stick out, and I wish I was good at drawing, because I'd want you to notice that or whatever. And it was like more rounded, kind of like craters type things.
Sure. And then, and you went through the fact that, so you guys left there and you went to Petco?
Well, we already talked about, I don't know if I got gas beforehand or not, but I told you guys I would be more than willing to give you the information from an exact travel for the route, but we immediately left the Worsted Ranch area. That's what you're at. Okay. Yeah.
So you had said you were going to leave him the cash on the bar. Did you go back and put that there, or were you going to, or had you left that there whenever you left?
No. So we have, I always have, everything that was with all the notes and everything like that was in the drawer that sits on this side of the kitchen or whatever. Okay. I had cash put in there because I had gotten, I was playing the lottery, so I had gotten cash back from the lottery, and I had already laid it out on the counter. My mindset was, the reason I already laid it on the counter was not because I had it predetermined I was going to leave it out for a specific person. I already had it laid out on the counter because I was going to give that money to Harley, because Harley has been paying on the dog, because Chance, we finance him. Okay. I say finance him, but she's paying him back or whatever, and we always give her a portion of Chance and a portion of her car payment. So I was going to give that back to her anyway. Okay. And so in that moment, I don't even remember when I came in that I checked to see that the whole month, I left her $100, but I didn't check in the moment if that $100, when I walked in, I didn't say, hey, there was only 20 there. And my mind wasn't thinking about, it was gone. So I thought, okay. But in my conversation with him, here's how much you want to do, donation, blah, blah, blah. So when I come in, I didn't think to go look to see if he left the remainder of the $100. That just wasn't in my mindset, because
it was already there on the counter whenever you had left.
Right, and that was just because when Holly got in, I was going to tell her that was usually, either I Zilly her money, or, whatever we pay.
What?
Zilly.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, everyone else does Zilly, so it's kind of like, Apple Pay or whatever.
Okay.
But they usually like I Zelle her money or things like that. But I would know this. I haven't had my USAA credit card in such a while, so I didn't have a way to to go get it or whatever. So I had lottery ticket money.
Okay.
So I was like, I would use the lottery ticket money that I'd been stashing to go buy new lottery tickets.
Okay. And do you remember, was that like, when you put it out there, was it like 20s?
Yeah, so it's always tens, and the reason it's always tens is because I tell myself I'm not playing anything like above the 10 amount.
Okay.
And I go to the Safeway all the time and put it in that machine.
Okay.
If you put more than $10 in that machine, they're going to keep it. You have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to ask, like, I put a 20 in there. You got to spend 20 in lottery tickets.
Okay. So you had $10 or $100 in $10 bills on the counter when you left.
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't worried. You didn't have to go back to like put that back out for him before you went out.
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally like leave it and say, whatever. In my mind when I left, because I didn't know like, hey, what time. I didn't have a specific time. I knew I needed to be back before Lena, but usually Holly gets off at 3:15, so I was assuming she might beat me back home.
Okay.
But she works. Remember I told you like they were having people having to take shifts and all that, so she ended up working until later in the day.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, and then you come home. Let's talk about what happens when you come home. Okay. And I know that that it can be difficult to talk about. So.
And I didn't want to talk about that part without. I'm one of those people that tries to like not think that mental health is always an issue or like things like that. And in my mind, I was afraid of the whole like, oh, it's causes mental health problems, like that type of thing. So
Sure.
Talking about it, I'm trying to like, don't think if I'm like emotions, I'm trying to be the blocker to think that I'm not going to let that be a stigma that I'm going to have mental health problems because of this. So that's.
No, and what I was going to say is because, I've been a special victims unit detective, and so I've had to investigate different types of assaults and sex assaults and stuff like that with adults and children.
Right.
And so I just kind of want to let you know, and this is, I would let anybody that I was going to have this conversation know that that's what I've experienced with, and that it can be a hard thing to talk about, and that I understand that. And that it can be kind of a sensitive subject, and like people don't always want to say specifics, but for us, like, to be able to document everything and to be able to really pursue it, we have to get into the specifics. And I just want to apologize up front for that, because I know it can be uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Are you okay?
Do I have to talk about that? I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be dreaming anymore.
I'm sorry, you don't want what?
Like dreaming. I don't want to dream anymore. Maybe I keep saying it. Like in my mind, I keep saying it. And I'm trying to block it. I'm fighting a battle, blocking out exactly everything,
Sure. Well, so
if you'll just ask, like, I can say yes or no. Or I just don't want to be like really specific in terms of. Are you talking about like you're gonna ask me questions about like?
So what I'd like you to do is start by telling me what you remember hearing whenever you came in that day, and then and as you walk me through it, I'll have to ask you some questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, and correct me if I get anything wrong. Okay? You had said earlier that whenever you came in, that you thought maybe that Gannon had come into the house first.
I'm almost positive he went into the house first because I had to get the bags that we had purchased.
Okay.
Like the Petco bag.
Sure. And you guys came in through the garage, correct?
I want to say the garage. I'm like 80% that it was the garage because we parked on the front without the truck.
Okay. Okay. So you come in through the garage. Gannon has already come inside. What's the first thing you remember seeing whenever you come inside?
I usually always go in to think about, hey, I need to let the dogs out. Hey, I need to do this. Like that is my mentality, is to go in to do that. And the alarm could tell if no, it won't, because I had put those things on there. See, that's where the hard part is, because I can't give you the exact time, because, yeah, but it might. And some of the sensors, remember I told you I had the things going on and we had put the little towel things on them or whatever? Some of the sensors were picking up, but some of them weren't. So I can't give you the exact time. If I went in, I could tell you if I went in and went upstairs or went downstairs first by the motion. But the motion was all off because I had put
towels.
Right.
You hadn't pulled those down from the night before yet?
Yeah, in my mind, that was not some of them, like the one in the corner, hangs off the side, so it might have picked it up or it might have not. So if it wasn't for that, I could tell you by that, did I go straight in and go straight to the basement? Because it would say there's most activity.
I want to, so with this kind of conversation, it's really all about what you remember and what your perspective is. Okay.
So I remember it was just basically being, normal, because I'm excited. We got, new clothes for the pets, and we're coming in the door, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
The day's halfway through. I knew I had specific responsibilities to continue out through the rest of the night. My brain hadn't said, hey, you need to go check or anything with the money yet, because I just wasn't on that, that direction yet.
Sure.
I was on the direction I wanted to work out, I wanted to listen to my music, I wanted to relax. That was my mindset. So it wasn't to be like, okay, this here, this here, this here. That type of thing. Sure. It should have been, because I gave someone the code to get into our house, but in my experience in Lorton Ranch, it's been that, most everyone has they give people their codes and let them come in to fix things, and you can do the Amazon packages and have them delivered inside the door. So I wasn't thinking, I need to run in and check, make sure it's okay. If I felt that I was doing a harmful situation, that would have been my first off, I wouldn't have done it, but second off, I would have went in immediately and been like, did he fix what he's supposed to do? Did he think something from the home? That would have been my initial thing. So it was a normal, I want to listen to music, I want to work out. I don't know, I might have got something to drink. I don't, up and down, dogs, that type of thing. That would have been my, mentality. But I didn't hear anything until I had my headphones on, and I thought, it's one of those things where you thought you heard something, because, the downstairs, if anybody makes any kind of noise, like a boing, it's it echoes really loud.
Oh, really?
It has a louder echo through the vent.
Okay.
So even sometimes, whether you're asking about noise counseling or not, even having things on or not, sometimes it's just the way that, they're sitting on there, you hear something, and that was almost like an echo noise.
Okay.
And that was, and below my room would be that storage room.
Okay.
So
you were in your room when you heard that?
So when I heard that, I don't remember if I was I know I had the headphones on.
Okay.
I don't remember if I was in the room or walking back and forth, because I had a big speaker box over here, and then either I played the big speaker or played the headphones or however on the big speaker back and forth. So I don't know if I was here, there. Again, I wish I could give you the motion thing, because that would give you a better time, like a 254, whatever, 255, here, like that. But when I heard it, that's when I was just kind of like, oh, did I hear something? Remember, I even told you earlier, I had a couple of times before I even thought that would be of a concern.
So when you thought you heard something, what happened next?
So I don't remember if it was one or two times or whatever that I kind of was doing this here, and back and forth. And that's when I told you that I, started to walk down the stairs. And I told you that Piano was on to the right of the area.
Okay.
When you walk down the stairs, he was on the right of the area.
Okay.
And the guy was over here.
Okay. And was the guy just out, or?
No, the noise was probably because of moving around, I guess, or whatever. And the door was almost not necessarily like a semi-crack, but well, maybe a little semi-crack. I don't know if he was looking out, like peeking out or anything like that. And so I noticed that someone was right there. And that's when immediately it was just, there was no, it wasn't like, hey, how are you? It was, if someone's in your home, they're not there to, when they're not supposed to be doing whatever, they're not there to talk to you, it was immediate from then on. That it went to that, and Ganna came in,
Okay.
tried to get on.
So
blah, blah, blah.
let's slow all that part down.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you go downstairs, you notice somebody's there. What's the next thing that happened?
So I noticed that he was there, and
Mhm.
he had, I told you, when I went in my room earlier, one of the things that I remember triggered, not that it triggered, but I thought was odd, but I had my shades, and I remember I told you my doors were open to the cabinet in the room.
Okay.
So I noticed that they were open, so that kind of in my mind was like, did I leave that open? But that also set off the fact of when your brain runs rapidly and you're looking, you're like, gosh, that's why that door was open.
Okay.
That
So like you put it together.
right. I put it together very, very quickly, and so that part ran back in my mind. And so immediately when he saw that, he saw me.
Mhm.
I don't know if the intentions was to us to come in that soon. I don't know the intention if it was to do anything, because I don't think the intentions was going to be like take anything from us, because it was he already had on gloves. He already had obtained a gun from our home, like had already done those things, and immediately it was in attack mode for me.
Okay.
And from there, and oh, I didn't mention to you, I did go in the cabinet because I take a lorazepam for
Okay.
anxiety,
Mhm.
and I was like already super anxiety from like having all this, like going on and stuff with the like fire and stuff like that. So I took 2 lorazepams. So I did go in, take two lorazepams and blah, blah, yada, yada,
And
yada.
that was in the cabinet, the lorazepam, or was that somewhere else?
Like in the kitchen.
No, you said that you went in. Where was?
I'm sorry. Like in the kitchen, we have a kitchen cabinet. I should say that to you.
Okay.
The cabinet that I'm talking about, that the doors are, is a bedroom cabinet. I say cabinet. It's like a armoire, like a smaller one, has doors that open. Okay. I should specify cabinet thing or something.
Right.
The bedroom one, the kitchen one would be where the
Medication.
Right. So I did take. That's why I said I think I might have got some drink or something, but I did take 2 lorazepams.
Okay.
And so that I did do that, and then I did come down with it.
Okay. So just so we're clear, the kitchen cabinet was where your medication was. Describe for me the armoire in the bedroom where the shades and your gun was.
So you want to know like what's in it, or like what?
What does it look like? What
So-
color is it?
Sorry, so it's silver,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a chromish color with like glass,
Okay.
and it does have handles, like a little knob that you can pull on or what, like pull open.
Mhm.
And then of course they have like, I keep my important documents in there, like a passport or
Does it have drawers or anything?
no drawers.
Okay.
It has the insert,
Like shelf?
the shelf.
Okay. Perfect. And where does that fit in your bedroom?
If you walk in the room, like say I'm like opening the door, walking in the room, it's exactly right here.
Okay. And does it sit on something or does it have its own feet?
Like it's on feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're talking.
Yeah, it has its
up.
own feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and like if I had to do like I don't know what samples or whatever, I just wanted to tell you about the medicine because I didn't want you to be like, oh. But I mean, it's prescribed to me anyway. So.
Yeah, sure. That's not.
Yeah, and I had already taken one that morning too, so it was just, I only have taken a panic attack, but I just had taken a lot, I don't say a lot of it, it's not that, but I'd taken, I don't take any at all unless I'm having a panic attack. And I had,
It was a little bit more than usual.
right, just because it was just, like
Okay.
the whole anxiety of it. So.
So you go downstairs
Mhm.
and you see him and you said that he had already found a gun.
He had already been in the home, like in our home, like moving, like I say moving, like doing something, because you wouldn't have just walked in and known, hey, there's something here. You had to go in, and most people would probably look through drawers and things like that. I don't know. I'm not making that assumption. That's what it is. I'm just saying he had already obtained one. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like, I can't speak for what, like what went on or
I'm
anything.
not
of that
asking
nature.
you.
Okay.
What? Can you describe the gun for me?
So it was our black gun.
Black gun.
I don't know what make and like what the brand was or whatever.
Okay. Was it? Do you know whether it was like a revolver or like a
No,
pistol
automatic. It's
or
automatic.
automatic?
Yeah, like you just pull the trigger.
Okay. And is that like, and do you know the caliber maybe?
I think the 380 maybe.
380.
or 9, one of those.
Okay. So you said it was y'all's black gun.
Mhm.
Okay. How many guns do you guys have?
Um, 4.
4? Okay. What kind are they?
I don't know the big one that Albert has. It's kind of like an AR or something.
Okay.
And then there's the shotgun. And so two, I think they're both 2.38.
380?
Yeah, like I think I think it's like a 380. Like they're both 380s.
Okay. And are they both black or like sometimes they have like the colorful one?
Yeah, mine's like a teal color.
Okay. So you have a black one and a teal one?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I just wanted to cover that really quick. Okay. So you go downstairs. You've already obtained a gun. You think it's your black gun.
Well, no, I don't think. I saw the color black.
Okay.
So I was assuming where I told you that my mind went through that was like
That it was
our black gun.
right.
Now, at that time, I wasn't 100% if it was or not because
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of black guns.
Sure. So tell me what happens next.
So, do you want me to go through the whole like assault again?
Well, we need to know like more specifics about it. So you said you saw him and that he had the gun and then he attacked you. How did he attack you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a recess until 3:15. Again, don't discuss the case among yourself. Don't discuss the case with anyone else. Don't do any research about any aspect of the case. With that, if we can have everyone back in the jury room at 3:15, we'll be able to all rise for the jury, please. Thank you. May all be seated. Record should reflect the court hearing.
It's like, that's about right.
No, because I know there's another video that's, I don't think, it'll probably be mid-morning Friday where they get to me, so.
Not sure we're going to finish this one today.
Yeah, we may not. There will be some empty time, I think, in the room that we'll just push through, but when I mean empty, nobody's in the room.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like 30 minutes, right?
I can't remember. Honestly, there's a chunk though.
Okay, well, we'll just, if we get it finished today, great. If we don't, we'll finish it up on Friday. And my docket tomorrow is virtual, so you can leave everything here.
Okay.
You don't have to clean off tables. You don't have to do anything.
Good. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you. Court will be in recess then.
All right.